Cheers, Muses. I'm Erica Papillon-Posey, and welcome to another episode of Suits Souls by EPP, where I inspire and style for you timeless, classic prim looks from my boudoir. But in today's episode, we are going to Italy. Now, myself, in the very, very, very near future, but you all, as previously alluded to, I kind of threw the reel out there to get some feelers as to who might be interested. And I'm happy to report a few updates for you, which we'll get to. So stick with us, stay with us. But I think it is very important that I share some travel essentials and tips with you, especially if you're going to be traveling outside of the contiguous United States. Now, I have to say, as a former entertainer, performer, opera singer, jazz singer, I have primarily traveled more outside of the United States than I have in the contiguous United States. And I like it that way. I would actually live in Europe if I could in a heartbeat. But because I am the mother of only one child, a daughter, as you know. And I have some grands, that's right. I want to be closer to them and, have some accessibility to them, which is why I actually moved from my home in Denver, Colorado, which is where my entire adult life was spent, to be closer here to them. So, yes, I would live in Italy in particular, or the south of France in a heartbeat if I could. I keep my passport ready, which brings me to the number one essential that you're going to need if you're going to be traveling outside of the United States. And that is a passport. Yes, you will need a passport when traveling outside of the United States. Now, my money is falling out and everything. We'll get to that. But do you see all the stamps on the back of my passport here? I am so proud of these stamps. I love having a passport. Having a passport is like having a degree. It is education. Travel is education. Travel opens you up to an array of cultures and languages and foods and different lifestyles that you might not otherwise be exposed to being the king or queen of your corner, which is just not acceptable. Fun fact for you. Did you know that about 67% of most Americans, again, 67% of Americans only know English, where the opposite is true where other countries are concerned? They know more than one language. Typically, it's 2 or 3 languages. So you need a passport. You need a passport. You need a passport. If you indeed are planning to come with us on our excursion. Yes, our Italian excursion. You're going to want to get started now because I think they've been behind about 6 to 8 weeks. It usually takes about 6 to 8 weeks, but I think they've been behind somewhat, especially coming out of COVID and everyone wanting to leave the country after being sequestered and quarantined for so long through COVID. People have the travel bug now and they are trying to get out. So first things first, most important, A1, if you are going to be leaving the country, and I hope you will need a passport. So get started now and apply for one. I will include the link to the application office, the passport office, or places that you can get it done near you, like the post office. You can get it done, I think, you can get your photo taken because you have to have a photo taken for your passport. You can do that at like Walgreens or Staples or something like that. Yes. So you're going to want to do that as soon as possible. And I think it was this year they were supposed to be, meaning our government, was supposed to be requiring more than a driver's license or ID to even travel within the contiguous United States. So you would need a passport or some kind of special ID. They were supposed to implement it when COVID hit, but I think they actually put it on the back burner and delayed the release of that new travel ID requirement. Again, even if you're traveling within the United States only. So the only other forms of identification that are acceptable is, again, a passport or a special ID that you have to get. Your driver's license will not work anymore. That was supposed to have been implemented this year, again, as of 2024. So be sure to check. But start with your passport. A1, A1. Now, as Americans, we have a tendency to overdo it when we travel and we overpack. That's what I mean by overdoing it. You don't want to overpack, especially if you are going to Europe, because the Europeans already feel some kind of way about Americans, especially with the election of he who shall not be named, right? Mm-hmm. So they are just befuddled, bamboozled. They are perplexed, baffled as to what is going on here in the United States. So, yeah, they really do feel a way about Americans traveling there now with all of the brouhaha that's been going on. I'm a big political follower. I won't get into any of that right now, but again, it's another reason that my passport stays ready, and I make sure that I have a very good piece of luggage. Living in Colorado my entire adult life, one of the major Samsonite plants, which Samsonite, as many of you may know, is a major distributor, producer of luggage, right? So we always got the best whenever they were rolling out new travel products. We always got the first pickings being right there in Colorado, because again, their plants were, many of their warehouses and distribution centers were right there in the heart of Denver, Colorado. So I really love, this is a Samsonite here. Everything that I'm showing you that is available, I will link for you in the description. A lot of these items can be found on Amazon, but again, I will link them for you. When you are traveling to Europe, no matter how long you are going for, please try only to take one piece of luggage. You can have your carry-on, which we'll talk about next, but try only to take one piece of luggage, because I will share with you my horror story. Being an American abroad, the very first time, little story, I went to my very first European music excursion abroad, again in, this was Germany and Austria. I was going to sing for Mozart's 250th centennial in Austria. So we did this tour throughout the Bavarian Alps. The grand finale was supposed to be us singing the Mozart Requiem in his home church, the home church that Mozart actually cantored in. That was, again, the piece de resistance. But we had a 3-week tour leading up to that event, which meant we were going to be singing in a lot of chapels, cathedrals throughout the Bavarian Alps, again, culminating in the big Mozart Requiem in Mozart's home church. And we started in this town in Germany called Kempten. We were staying at a lovely hotel, the very first hotel on our itinerary. It was fabulous. We had a fabulous initial evening. We arrived, we got, to the place that we were going to be staying. Everything seems kosher and copacetic. And, I still was told by my 2 very best girlfriends at the time that I had overpacked. And I was like, I don't think that I did. It's like, well, they were like, okay, girl, we tried to tell you, don't say we didn't try to tell you, right? Lo and behold, we had guys that were on the tour with us, of course, because the Mozart Requiem is actually a major orchestral work. So we had men and women on this tour. And so a lot of the guys were happy to help the women with their luggage, right? So the very first place that we arrived to, I had no problems at all because I had these wonderful gentlemen who were traveling with us, singing with us, that were negotiating all of the ladies' luggage and stuff. So I was like, this is the life. This is the life. You know, it was at the beginning of my career and I'm getting experience and, you know, I'm traveling abroad and I'm feeling like I'm walking in my divine path and I'm just feeling myself. Well, lo and behold, slowly but surely, we start progressing to other hotels. Now, some of the hotels, because you're talking about Europe, some areas, you're talking about 2,000 plus years of history and not like little old United States of America where we're just, you know, about 4 centuries old, right? Yeah. So we get to a location where I had to start navigating, negotiating, managing my own luggage. And it was in a hostel. And I was hostile. I was, because the guys were getting tired of helping us with our luggage, and I couldn't blame them. And this particular place, because again, you're in Europe, there are no elevators in these locations, especially in a hostel, right? Which really was like a monastery that was converted into a pension or a hostel. And I had these 2 gigantic bags full of nonsense that I really did not need. But we really didn't have a great informational session about the things that we should and should not pack. So to my credit, in my defense, we really did not have a session where we were told how to pack or not to pack, right? But I should have known something was wrong because I was one of the only knuckleheads that had more than one piece of luggage, and I struggled. There's no lift, which is what elevators are called in Europe. So I had to carry my bags, which were heavy and large, up 2 flights of limestone stairs with no lift. I was so angry. And then I got upstairs to this teeny tiny room that had pictures on the wall of people that looked like they died of consumption. And you know what consumption is. It's tuberculosis, essentially. So these pictures were on the wall of these people that looked like, you know, they had died and that they were staring just lifelessly into your soul. The carpet was horrendous. There were no towels for us to use. A lot of Europeans do not have the flat sheet like we have here in the United States. So there's just a duvet essentially on top of the fitted sheet. So yes, and the bathroom was disgusting. And ask anyone who knows me, I have minor OCD. It's minor. It can be a little extreme at times, but I've learned how to negotiate and navigate my way around my idiosyncrasies where cleanliness and bacteria are concerned. So the bathroom had like fishnets for curtains. The bathroom was so small, which is really commonplace for European dwellings at all, including main living spaces. But the bathroom was so small that you had to get out of the shower to shave your legs. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Everything that could be wrong was wrong. So I run downstairs to this kind of like a conference room where I think I have some privacy to call my husband so that I could cry. So I'm on the phone with him. I call him and I'm like, you're never going to guess where I am. I cannot stay here. In all of my American entitledness, I cannot stay here. I don't know what you need to do to get me out of here, but I need you to find me a flight out of here right now. I mean, I was so dramatic. I was melodramatic. My opera diva, my prima donna came out on me. I was bawling. I was bawling my face off. And the way I stepped into the little conference room to call my husband, I didn't pay attention to my surroundings. I mean, I was so furious. I was already crying when I walked into the conference room. So I didn't really check my surroundings or anything. And you guys, I am talking to my husband on the phone and I'm backing up slowly because I have my hand on the conference table. I'm backing up slowly, and I back into something, and I turn around, and it's a statue, a life-size full statue of St. Francis of Assisi with his arms spread wide. And I turned around and ran right into that statue. It was a stone statue, and busted my forehead right on that statue. You guys, I was so mad. I was so mad. I was so angry. And then I had this big knot that literally grew like the horn on a unicorn out of the center of my head. I mean, the day couldn't have gotten more worse, but it did, because we ended up eating just stuff that we had never eaten before. Spätzle, if you know anything about Spätzle, if you've ever been to Germany before, it was just, I don't recommend it at all. Anywho, back to how does this factor into my luggage? Well, needless to say, in all of my American-ness, I said, until my husband figured out how he was going to get me out of there, I decided that I was going to find me another more suitable hotel, because there was no way under any circumstance, American or not, that I was staying in that hotel. Not with my OCD. No, it was not happening. So I hopped on, I think it was Expedia, my Expedia account at the time, and I found a hotel that was about 1/8 of a mile away. Well, I was leaving my two best girlfriends who I had gone there with, and who was making this trip so enjoyable and so doggone fun. I mean, as bad as that trip ended up being, if I didn't have them, I think I would have lost my mind, because we laughed so much. Girlfriends are the best, especially when you're going through a difficult time, because if you can keep the laughter going, you can get through anything. So Missy and Christy were my girlfriends. One girlfriend, Missy, is Black and German. So her father is African American, was stationed in Germany at one point during his army career. And her mother is German. And yes, we were singing in Germany. But she is this Black girl that is fair-skinned with red freckles and red hair, because her father, who is my complexion, also has red hair and freckles. And then Christy, my other girlfriend, Christy Connolly, who was just the hoot. She kept us rolling. And she's white, but she looks more Indian, She looks more very dark hair, almost like Morticia from the Addams Family, very dark features. But we were like the Three Musketeers. Yes. So I was leaving my girlfriends, because I was like, I don't care what y'all do. Y'all can figure it out. Y'all can stay here if you want to, but I'm not staying in this nonsense. I'm just not going to do it. Y'all, I dragged both of those big bags. Now, remember I said to you in the previous episode, there are still cobblestone streets throughout large swaths of Europe. I mean, and you just have to navigate those streets, especially if you have a certain kind of footwear on. I had no one to take me there. I was new. This was my very first European excursion, very first. So I didn't speak the language well enough, German at the time, to be able to call a taxi or anything to get me to this new hotel, because I did find a hotel. Do you know I dragged both of those big ASS bags 1/8 of a mile to the closest hotel that I was able to find, this little room? And my girlfriends ended up coming with me after, because after I got to the hotel and I settled in and I was like, okay, this is nice. This is popping. I can do this. I can do this. I gathered my wits about me. I got my nerves about me. I did. And I got it together, and I called Missy and Christy, and I was like, look, I got one bed, but y'all are welcome to come and join me if you want to. So sure enough, they came and met me. They were laughing at me so hard. By the time my husband called me back and said, okay, I found a flight for you. I'll see if I can get you out of there. I was like, don't worry about it. I'm going to suck it up. I'm going to do what I have to do and maybe try to unload some of the stuff that I have. But that is my horror story about being an American for the very first time in Europe and carrying all this doggone luggage. Don't do it. And I have to tell you, my girlfriend, another quick story. My girlfriend, my best friend now, Chandra, I took her to Italy with me a few years ago for the first time. And because of what happened to me, everyone that I take with me to Europe now, since that, my experience, I mean, this was years ago. This was like 2004 that this happened to me. But ever since then, anyone that has ever come with me to Europe, I have always counseled them on how to pack for Europe. Okay, you just have to do it. Trust me here. My girlfriend, I counseled her. We did like Italian excursion 101, which is what I'm going to do with you all. She didn't listen to me. The morning of our flight, when she showed up to our home for us to go to the airport together, that girl had 3 bags with her. Now, I told you I had 2. She had 3, you guys, 3 bags. And I was like, girlfriend, Chandra, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. Now, mind you, we landed in Rome. We're going to do exactly what I am getting ready to tell you we did. It's cheaper to fly into Rome. Another tip for you. It is cheaper to fly into Rome and then take the high-speed train throughout whatever province you're trying to get to. We were going to Florence again, but we landed in Rome and we took the train. We had train tickets it's just literally like an hour and change north, right? And you can see the Tuscan countryside, which is just beautiful. So we're going to do that, right? She was able to whittle it down, I think I remember correctly, to 2 bags because I was like, Chandra, you're not going to make it. We're going to be moving. And when I'm in Europe, I'm moving. And I think it's because I know the terrain, I know the language, and, I'm comfortable. I've gone there so many times throughout the years that I just, again, I feel like it's a second home. So I know how to navigate the landscape in a way that I have to check myself and remember that the people that generally I bring with me are not as familiar with, again, having to, navigate a new language as well. And when I get to Europe, I put my tennis shoes on and I go. I put my sneakers on and I go, which is what we're going to do. So again, stay tuned. But I digress. No, that's not a digression. It's not. These are all very important things that you need to know if you're going to be traveling abroad with me. So yes, another thing that you're going to need besides a very good piece of luggage and the passport, as I said, are travel essentials like these beauties right here. I have had these. This is my second set. I keep these on the ready for my travels, and I don't generally use these if I'm traveling somewhere in the United States, but you've probably seen these before when people do pack with me and things like that. There are 6 of these here. And they are various sizes. They don't look very large, but they do extend very much. And they are wonderful. I will put the links in the description below for you to be able to purchase them, where to purchase them, and the best ones, particularly this one. I've had this set about 8 years now, maybe 9, 10 years, actually. I've had this set and they have served me well. If I have used them, I'm surprised that they haven't burst by now, but I've had no problems with zippers popping or breaking or seams coming apart or anything. These are tried and true, and I love this particular brand. So again, I will link a few sets for you in the description of sets you might want to purchase. But again, I put everything in them. So yes, also in terms of packing essentials for your clothes and things like that, because I said to you that I'm a bit OCD. I use these for all of my shoes. Now, these are generally shoe covers that come in whenever I purchase shoes from different locations, but I also buy these. So I actually double bag them because I don't like my shoes getting dirty. Even my slippers and things that I wear in the shower. So yes, while I'm in Europe, I wear shower shoes. I don't care. It's just, again, an OCD thing. I have an issue with bacteria, stuff like that, germs. So just to be safe, I double pack my shoes as well in these beautiful little sacks. As you can tell, I like to match, right? So you're going to need things like that. I will link those little baggies for you as well if you're interested in those. And again, the white ones just come out of the shoe boxes of shoes that I have purchased in the past. If I am a vitamin taker. I take my vitamins religiously. These are labeled with the days of the week on it. As I just said to you, I love coordinating my colors. So you can see those there, right? You can see the days of the week on that for your vitamins. And I don't know, did I show these? Did I come up close enough so that you can actually see the construction of these? I mean, they're just fantastic. Again, they come in a set of 6 and you can see the netting there. Yeah. And one of the other things that I think you are going to need is for your suitcase. I actually, especially because I purchase luggage pretty frequently because they get damaged. And look, these baggage handlers, they're Nazis. They're just little luggage Nazis, and they will destroy your stuff and throw it and not think twice about it. So I always get these to cover my luggage with. Yeah. You can get these as cheap as $6.99 up to $15, $16. It just depends on the size of your luggage, the size that you will need, and the cost associated. Again, everything I will link for you below, but I always cover my luggage with these. And they actually, see, they're open like this. And then there's a Velcro so that you Velcro the bottom and you can cinch it tighter. And there's usually a couple inches of give regardless of the size. But these are, again, luggage covers. Yes. And they're very durable, a heavy plastic, and you're just going to want to get these to prevent your luggage from being destroyed, right? One of the other things that you may want, and these are super awesome because what? Your girl got, your girl has a little OCD here. But I actually travel with my own utensils as well. These are magnificent. They come with, and it comes in this little carrying case here. And you actually have a spoon and a fork here. My set is pink, of course. They come in multiple colors. They're just beautiful. Look at that with this metallic pink color on it. So this is the fork and the spoon. A knife comes with it. There are different size straws that come with it. Actually, 2 straws in this one. But I've had ones that have had like 3 straws in it. Straws there. Yeah. And then chopsticks. I will link all of this for you because why? One of the reasons I travel, another reason I travel with my own set of utensils is because generally speaking, now I don't stay in a hotel as much as I used to. I usually do like an Airbnb or something. I rent a flat, or they're called flats in Europe. I rent a flat through booking.com or something like that. All of your cooking essentials and needs are in the flat for you, but I still like to use my own. Why? Because I'm a germaphobe. So yes, there you go. Something else you might want. Again, I will link it for you. I also travel with my own pillow. I don't generally travel with the donut pillow because you can't see it when it gets dirty and there are no covers for them. There may be now, I haven't checked in a while because I actually have my own pillow that I travel with, and my own pillowcase that I travel with as well, because I don't care how clean it looks. I like to, just be safe and bring my own, but I don't like using the donuts that you can purchase in the airport and things like that. Again, you can't see when they get dirty. They don't have covers that come to them, and you cannot remove the cover to be able to wash it. So it's kind of like a no-brainer. Like, why would I put my head on something I can't even see if it's dirty? You're also going to want earplugs, and that's what I'm looking for. I just put them in a new container, and I thought I brought them in here, but I guess I didn't. But you guys know what earplugs look like, right? Where are my, here they are right here. Earplugs, right? You're going to want earplugs as well for the plane and for wherever you're staying, depending on if you're staying in a major square or section where it's heavily trafficked by tourists. One of the other very important things that you're going to want to bring with you are plugs for your outlets, because yes, the wattage is different. The electricity wattage conversion is different in Europe as opposed to the United States. And I have multiple kinds and sizes. You can buy these at Best Buy. You can get them at Staples. You can get them, I think you can get them at Home Depot. I'm not positive about that, but I have traditionally purchased mine on Amazon or Best Buy. But these, again, are converters for the outlets there because their wattages are different and the conversions are different than ours here in the United States. Do you see that? And depending on the country in Europe, they're not universal. So you have to actually have multiple, depending on the country that you're going in. You can get a universal pack, if you will, so that they have all the different kinds. So for instance, the conversion is different for Italy, it's different for France, it's different for Germany, and so on and so forth. So you want to get one that is universal, that has multiple countries on it, or, you know, attached to it. This one's detachable. It has about 4 different ones. And I know you can't tell here, but these are like 4 different plugs here. And this one has about 4 as well. I like this one as well because it also has a USB. Do you see that? 2 USB plugs there as well, right? And you see the little red dots there? That's just for, depending on the country that you're in, they go up, right? Right? See that? So you're definitely going to want those, because if you bring a curling iron or a hair dryer or something like that, you will not be able to use it over there if you bring your own, because again, their conversions are different. You're also going to want a charger for your phone. These usually last about 24 hours. Yeah, these are long lasting. I tell everybody, get these, get these, get these. These also have the USB ports on them, right? But it just keeps you from having to be like everyone in the airport and constantly plugging in or looking for a spot to plug in to charge your phone. These last generally about 24 hours. I will put the link for these as well in the description. Of course, it comes with the adapter as well. Any essential you can think of for traveling, I have it. I have it after so many years of traveling. So yes, we got all of that. You're going to want to have a hat. Yes, you will. You'll need a hat because the heat in Italy in particular is no joke. It's gangster. The heat. It gets worse in July, June, beginning of June, especially, which is when I am going to be there, and when I hope you will be there a year from now. The heat is, it can be gangster. It can be gangster. It really can be. But June, I think mid-June, after mid-June is when it's off the chain, after mid-June. So this is a perfect time to go if you're going to go, also because the tourist traffic isn't so heavy and the heat is not so bad, but the shopping is impeccable. So get ready for that. I also purchased this makeup case, and I actually have had a number of these, but I just purchased a new one because I wanted a new one. But this is a makeup case, especially if you are going to need the lighting or something. Again, the bathrooms in Europe are not very large. So you're going to want to be able to apply your makeup and things like that sitting at a table outside of the bathroom or something. And just so that you can have some elbow room and some space for applying makeup and doing your hair and things like that. And the thing that I really love about this one is, did you see the light comes on? It actually has a number of settings, and you can recharge it. It comes with a charging cord. Here we go. So you can see the inside there. Yeah. It comes with a charging cord. Yeah. Isn't that cute? I really love it. I will link it for you below if you're interested. It is a travel case specifically for your jewelry, again, and or makeup application. But this is what it looks like. There you go. You can also, I love it because the sleeve here, you can literally put it over your suitcase, the handle of your suitcase, right? Just super convenient. I really love this. Yeah. And you can find, there are multiple vendors on Amazon that carry those for different price points, but I will link a couple of them for you in the description. So ladies, you will definitely want to pick up one of these for doing your makeup and things. I am a backpack sister. When I am traveling, stylish backpacks, of course, when I am traveling, especially abroad, because you do not want to be carrying too many things, I bring little handbags, like very little flexible handbags, kind of like the Bottega Veneta woven clutch, which is what I'm bringing. I'll be styling for you with those suits that I purchased. Something that is squishy, something that is compact, and you can just stuff it in your luggage and not have to worry about it getting bent or anything like that. But in terms of backpacks, I am a backpacking sister when it comes to traveling in Europe. I have had this bag about 8 years. I have a number of backpacks that I travel with. I really love this one because it's so substantial. Yes, it has multiple straps on it. You can adjust it. It really does open up to this size. So this strap here from the back comes here and attaches right there. It's so spacious. This is an 11 by 17 in terms of size. I will put the link for you as to where I purchased this one. It is 100% durable leather. And it would be, this is the kind of bag that you can stuff under your seat on the airplane. You can stuff it in the overhead. You can toss it, chunk it, throw it, whatever you need to. The leather is that durable. And this bag is German made. I love German engineering, even my cars. It has two big pockets on the front here. It has two top pockets on the side. It has pockets on the inside. I mean, it's just so spacious. And I just love it. I love backpacks. Again, I have a number of backpacks that I travel with. I do not go to Europe without a backpack. I just don't. They're just so convenient. And you can still have a little something like a little crossbody purse or something to keep your immediate essentials in, like your money and your passport and things like that, you know, in a little crossbody or something like that. But if you want to carry extra things like slippers, like your utensils, you know, things like that in your backpack, I suggest it you just can't go wrong with a backpack, and they're just so convenient. It's on your back for a reason. You don't have to worry about it. So get a backpack, consider a backpack. I know it's not necessarily cute, but it's functional. It is practical. It's utilitarian. It does the job. And trust me, if you are trekking through areas, all points, multiple points, you're going to want a backpack. On the plane, as a singer, we always wear scarves, just like masks. Even before COVID, I was a mask wearer because you walk around as a singer with your instrument. Your instrument is in you. You are your instrument. So we were always taught to carry a scarf with us and wear a mask, especially when you're in confined close quarters like an airplane. You can just never be too safe especially as a performer, a singer at that. So I always bring an oversized scarf that doubles as a throw blanket, right? This one is massive. I love the leopard print. I really do. So this one is really big. I don't want to take it completely apart because it's really, really large, but it's not heavy, and it unfolds even more than this. But it's really lightweight, but again, stylish. Yeah. And again, doubles as a scarf around your neck or a blanket because it can get cold on the planes, right? So yes, a scarf, a scarf, a scarf. Yes, I know that it is summer, but trust me, you can stick that in the backpack when you're done and be ready to pull it out again en route home, right? I always travel. Now, I have a color scheme. I don't know if you see my theme here, my color coordination going on here, but I actually typically travel in terms of what I'm wearing and what I am going to be styling while I am dressing abroad. I make sure that all of my colors are in the same color family because that means that's less that you have to pack. If you just take the time and coordinate a color theme or scheme, it's just less stuff that you have to pack, right? Yes. So this is actually what I am wearing for my upcoming trip. In terms of my backpack, my mules here, these are by Diva True. These are excellent. They're so comfortable. They still have a little platform to them. I purchased these about 5 years ago, and I love that the split here on the top of the footbed here. These are all leather, as you might imagine, just very durable, made incredibly well. The craftsmanship is fantastic. I love the rounded toe box here. And again, the split here on the top, because if you're going to be doing a lot of walking, especially through an airport, look at that. Isn't that cute? And you don't find very many slides or mules that have this give here, this break at the top of the foot, so that when you walk forward or you pivot forward on the foot, there's some break here in your shoe so that you're not getting that crease across the top there. But these are wonderful, just fantastic. But yes, and I also make sure, in addition to my scarf, that I wear a denim shirt jacket. Not just a denim shirt, but a denim shirt jacket, because why? You will get cold on the plane. And again, this just, you don't want to bring a coat or anything, obviously, but there will still be times, because it's going to be hot, that the air conditioning is on and you want to have, like on the plane, a denim jacket. It's just really comfortable. Or a sweater. You can do a sweater, but I love traveling in denim, which is what I'm wearing right now in my Levi's jeans, right? So yes, I like traveling in denim. One last thing. Money, moolah, right? So I always keep a couple €100, even before I get to Europe. You're going to want to, one of the cheapest things to do in terms of exchange rates is get money out of the ATM machine once you arrive. You don't want to get money out of the ATM machine when you arrive in the airport, because that's one of the most expensive places to get euro when you get there. So if at all possible, you do want to try to get some in the airport before you leave the United States. And then once you get into the city proper, or wherever you're going to be, then you can get money out of the ATM machine. I swear by credit unions. I've never used banks before. I did briefly in my early 20s, but I have been a convert to credit unions my entire adulthood for the most part, because you don't get any of those exchange fees and withdrawal fees from the ATM machine. So yes, this is euro. Yeah, these are 20s. And like I said, I always keep a couple €100 with me even before I go abroad, so that I don't even have to worry about getting it once I get into wherever I'm going in this instance, we'll be landing in Rome and then making our way via the train north to the Tuscan region. And then Firenze is in Tuscania, the Tuscan region. I think that is all of my essentials and tips for traveling abroad. I know I'm going to share more things with you as we get closer, but in the interim, I promised you an update before I let you go today. I know this video has been long. Thank you for sticking with me thus far. I really appreciate it, but I wanted to get all of that stuff in just so that you can start the process and still assess if this is something that you're going to want to do or not. So my updates are, I have had the opportunity to speak to my cohorts, people that will be assisting me with this, friends that I have abroad, as well as my daughter. So what I want you to do, what I want you all to do, and I want you to put this in the comments as soon as possible. Yes, because we have to come up with a theme, right? We need a theme for our Italian excursion. Yes, it's going to be, we're going to have some incredible, we've already discussed a loose itinerary for everyone. That's right. Let me know also in the comments how many days you all would be comfortable with. Like, I think 4 days would be a great amount of time. Of course, I will arrive before you all would get there, and I would depart after to just make sure that everything is done well on the front end, and then see you all off on the back end before I depart. But we need a theme, first of all, so chime in below and let me know what we can call our Italian excursion, our Italian meet and greet, our Italian meet up. But we need like an eat, pray, love theme, right? Because that is how I'm going to bill everything. And then, like I said, I've already spoken to my daughter, who's agreed to come and help facilitate this, as well as some friends who I already have on the ground over there that would be honored to see us all through this wonderful, wonderful trip that we're going to take, specifically in Florence. We have discussed a jazz and wine night. Yes, because you cannot go to the Tuscan region and not have the best wine popping, right? Prosecco here. And I don't drink. I'm not a drinker. I've never had a tobacco substance or an alcoholic substance in my entire life, because as a singer, alcohol dries out the vocal cords. So I've never drank before for that reason primarily, but also because my personality does not need any altering, none whatsoever. But we've discussed loosely, tentatively, a jazz and wine night, an opera night, because you can't go to Italy and not experience opera in the home, the birthplace of opera, right? And of course, shopping. Some of the best outlets in Italy are just on the outskirts of Firenze. So we would plan a shopping day at the outlets, as well as the leather markets, which are in the heart, the outdoor leather markets are in the heart of Florence. So that would be an excursion as well on the list. And then, yes, I think those are the big things that we've come up with thus far. So let me know if you have anything in particular that you think you might want. And of course, you're going to have your own free time to do as you please and to just kind of roam around. I would, of course, be your guide on some major points of interest for sure. Yeah, there's just so much to do. So I'm super excited for you all and anyone that chooses to join us, especially if you've never been before. I love showing people around a country that I have come to adore and really, again, feel like it's a second home for me. So again, I know the people that I've spoken to already are super thrilled about having us all there. But let me know, again, who is serious about actually coming. I need to start putting some numbers together. I know a year seems like a long time, but I trust you, me, that it will be here before you know it. So I have to kind of hit the ground running. And I'm glad I discussed this and brought this up with you prior to my departure, so that I can kind of get some framework in place while I'm there during this trip. So thank you so very much, Muses, for joining me on this travel edition of Suits Souls by EPP. And if you're not already doing so, head on over to Instagram after we're done here and follow me there at Suits Souls by EPP. And if you're not already doing so, please hit that like and subscribe button for notifications on all new episodes. But until we meet again, à bientôt, Muses. Bye.